Getting users is hard. With millions of apps in the app stores and dozens of digital products, yours can be simply lost. Since 2015, together with my co-founder, we have been launching tools for mobile developers and designers. To deliver our first product, we spent 13 months in development. And when we finally delivered it, it was a total disaster. Users didn't like it, and only a few brave people were using it. Since then, we pivoted Flawless app, and with zero marketing budget, got users from big companies and built community around our tools. Today, on our example, we'll talk how to define the right users for your app, how to craft great message, and how to deliver this message via different marketing channels. So you start with user research. Who are the people who will be using your app? How do they spend their day? What conference do they attend?
So don't use Fujitsu scanners. Sorry about that. I clicked yes, but I don't know.
Your user research starts with defining hypotheses. Then you prepare questions and different tests to validate your hypothesis. You find real users and you talk to them via Skype, on meetings, or via different channels. And you validate your hypothesis to be sure that you made the right persona, and you make all marketing decisions based on your user research. How does it look in practice? This is a real user persona for Flawless app, our tool to compare design with a real app on iOS simulator. So we defined what location a person came from, what is his or her typical development workflow, what tools he or she using, what is he or she reading online, even what conference he or she attends. We also specified the core features of our tool and core benefits for our end user. In your persona, you should list all relevant hypotheses, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. In fact, your next steps is to validate these hypotheses with different interview techniques, experiments, and digging inside your data and analytics you have. You can start with making questions for interviews. It can be direct questions. For example, how many people are working in your company? What tools have you been using before Flawless? Or you can ask indirect questions. For example, what have you been using before for getting feedback from your designers? How did you get feedback during your last sprint? This is our real questionnaire which we send to our users. When your product or app is live, you have a huge variety of interview techniques. You can set up interview calls and ask your questions. You can send questions via emails if users agree to that and you have their emails. You can send questionnaires. You can ask questions inside your app. It can be a nice pop-up window. Also, you can talk with people who left reviews for you. Also, you should analyze all the data you have according to permissions. But what should you do if your app is not live yet or you have only friends who are using it? Well, you can find people similar to your user persona. It can be friends, families, and run user interviews with them. You can go to targeted events, like this one, and talk to people. When you ask about someone's job or habits, or just have a casual conversation, people are really willing to talk, and you can run your user research. You can check competitors' tools and try to reach out to their users. If your product is better, people will be happy to complain, and you will be happy to learn more. You can check Product Hunt. For example, on Product Hunt, people can leave reviews about competitive solutions, and you can just message people through this platform. Also, you can find similar users to your persona on LinkedIn and start conversation with them. Just be transparent that you are running user research, and you would love to learn for whom is your app. This is 2015. It's young Lisa and young Ahmed. We came to a sketch event, and we spot one guy in the crowd. he was checking our website. It was the moment when our product was not live, those which took us 13 months. Just after the event, we came to Guy and talked with him till the end of the evening. He was super happy, and we learned so much. There are hundreds of people in this room. Maybe some of them are your potential users. Don't be shy, come talk to them. With all your user research, you will be able to make accurate user persona. You will validate your assumptions. Also, you will define what features people require the most. So what is your product roadmap? And you will be able to craft your message. It's a core positioning, something which will speak to the user's heart. Positioning is about who you are. It's your core values, your uniqueness, and your big mission. It's more than just a list of features or brand message. It's something which you truly believe in. And it might sound a bit abstract, but in reality, positioning is a 2-3 sentence about your mission, values, and uniqueness. And it reflects all your marketing communication. It's inside your App Store description. It's on your website. It's inside your design. It's inside your product name. We called our tool Flawless App because we want community to build flawless apps faster. So how to craft those 2 sentences? How to define who you are? You have several techniques. Firstly, during your user research, ask people, why have you decided to try my app? What does it mean for you? Ask people what another tools or apps they admire. Check competitors' positioning. With all of that information, you can try to fill a simple formula. For my users who have this specific need or opportunity, my app will provide this solution. Different from competitors, my app will have these unique advantages and offer this type of answer to users' need. At the end, you'll have a doc with several sentences about your positioning and marketing messages. Those messages you can spread through different marketing channels. Today, we'll talk about public launches, about direct sales, about free marketing and paid marketing. Let's start with public launches. When you submitted your app to the App Store, what do you think will happen? Will users just magically find it and download it? No. In reality, that doesn't happen. You need to explicitly tell your users that your shiny new app is available, and it will solve all users' problems in an instant, 10x faster than competitors. When you have a public launch, you share news about your release via different target communities and groups. Those are communities which you have discovered during your user interviews. It can be Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, Slack channels, Reddit, newsletters, different maker sites like Indie Hackers, or it can be Medium publication, or blogs which accept news about new apps. With all of that in mind, you need to do some preparation. It takes time to do a public launch. How does it look? Firstly, you make a list of all relevant communities. You already know them. You're involved in those communities. Obviously, you need to learn community rules to be respectful and to share your message there. You write all custom messages, and you make nice visuals. Set up launch plan. It's a day-by-day activities, hour-by-hour plan. How does it look for us? We had more than 20 product launches, and every time it takes us around a week to write all messages, to make visuals. In all copy, we mention our core values, uniqueness, and clear call to action. Give a feedback, try our trial, download the app, and we craft all messages differently. We are involved in a lot of communities, so usually it takes us about a week to spread the word about our launch everywhere. Your first public launch can be messy, but it's totally fine. As Christina already mentioned, sometimes what users tell they want is very different from reality. So when you publicly share your app, you can get the real reaction from people. You can see how they interact with your app, what is their feedback, do they ready to pay for it? To get even more user attention, you can launch on Product Hunt. We usually do that as a second week after our main launch. What is a Product Hunt? It's a site for discovering tech products. Every day, people submit their apps, tools, books, podcasts, and they participate in a daily race. It starts at midnight Pacific time. And if you submit your app, you have only 24 hours to get to the homepage. So you need to get as much as possible upvotes, comments, and traction. And if you get here, you'll get attention of users, attention of press, and a lot of traffic to your app or your tool. But every day, dozens of products launch on Product Hunt, so you need to be really well prepared. You start with reading community guides, how to use Product Hunt as a platform, and what is better not to do. Then you set up a plan, because you have only 24 hours to get to the homepage and to get all the attention. I will share you our plan in a moment. Then you prepare text and visuals. To submit your app on Product Hunt, you need to have tagline, description, product screenshots, favicon, a long description, comment from the maker. So it's a huge list of things you need to prepare beforehand. Also, when you share your launch on Product Hunt, you need to have promo visuals and marketing text again. When everything is ready, you submit your app by yourself or via Hunter. And you promote your launch. How does it look for us? We submitted Flawless app a bit late, at 1:30 San Francisco time. Then we asked local community to support us. It was as simple as just Facebook post, hey, we want Product Hunt, please show us some love. Then we shared our launch in different targeted groups. And we keep communication about our launch at Product Hunt till the morning. We were #1 for 24 hours and got really a lot of feedback from users. Product Hunt is great for consumer-oriented apps, for tool working with designers and marketers. But if you have a niche app, or if you have launched on a day with a huge competition, let's say Uber has launched their app there, you can feel a bit lonely. So what else can you do to get attention to your product? You can work with direct sales. Wait, maybe some of you is thinking right now, whoa, I'm not a salesperson, sales is not for me. In reality, you don't need to be a salesperson or a master of sale. You just need to be able to talk about your app. You need to be able to make people use it, or at least give it a try, so you'll learn a reaction from people. You can use several simple techniques. First of all, you can work with LinkedIn. It's an appropriate channel for business communication. So you can find people similar to your user persona. You already know your users. And you can build a simple pipeline via LinkedIn, sales one. You can use offline sales. It's demo meetings or showcasing your product. You can reach out to competitor users and propose your app to them as well. And you can work with a traditional sales process. When you have a defined sales steps with a sales pipeline, customer relationship system, and you work with all involved people, and users, influencers, decision makers, financial guy, gatekeepers. The last one is a bit long, but in general, your sales process will look similar to this. You do your research first. You find companies and people similar to your user persona, someone who will benefit from your app or solution. You build relationship. You follow those people on social media, you read their articles, you engage with them on the conferences, and when the time has come, you craft a custom message. Because you know more about people, it can be very personalized. You have a clear call to action. It can be jump on a call, have offline meetings to showcase your app, or maybe to give it a try right away. And you keep conversation going and going and going. Direct sales is a time-consuming tactic. It really takes time to close the lead, and usually it's used for big checks. But as a first-time maker, or when you just release your app, it's super important to try sell it by yourself. You'll hurt people's concerns. You will find out how much is they willing to pay. Are they willing to pay at all? Because unless someone committed to invest time, money, or reputation in your product or app, you can't be sure that it's needed on market at all. So give it a try. But there are dozens of other marketing things you can do. We'll talk about free marketing. You can work with content, you can work with viral activity, you can work with press and PR, you can do referrals, giveaways, or free lead generation tools. You can work with influencers, you can set up partnerships and distribute your apps through different channels and do sales activation, help your users and do product marketing. Wow, it's really a lot of things you can do. But I want to show you all opportunities you can use for market your app. We'll talk now about content marketing. It takes time to craft a good content and earn users' trust and get readers for your blog. But you can start as simple as Medium publication or blog on your site. Because you know your users, you do topic research. Find an interesting topic, create an article, and promote it. If you don't share your article with community, no one will read it, unfortunately. But content is not only about blogging. You can share the story, how you have created your app, what challenges you faced, what successes you have seen. A great example is GitHub by Ryan. Ryan shares a lot about his open source project, about his successes, and it's really engaging content, which obviously drives traffic to his tool. My friend Graham Fulton from Prototype sometimes make a video of his design process. It's really engaging to see how he's working on a new tool, and it creates anticipation. Such type of content is relatively easy to create, and it gives you traffic and users. Try it. While content takes time to master, you can try to work with viral activities. Viral activities is any type of marketing activation which gives you a fast traffic. There is no magic formula, but you can work with a trendy topic, huge, big global problem for people, something very fun, or something which has a social engagement. We won't go into psychological principles behind it, but we'll see some examples. Recently released open source list of awesome design tools. It has more than 500 tools for designers, more than 100 contributors. It was trending for months and a half and has 15K stars on GitHub. Obviously, it gave a huge traffic for our tool called Flawless Feedback. It's a tool to leave feedback on live apps. This viral activity has social engagement piece because it's easy to contribute, it's easy to share some tool, and it's easy to be part of it. Also, it's a global big problem because designers often need to choose some tool, and it's a list of 500 tools to choose from. And it's really easy. It's a very easy activity to do an awesome list, and people love it. So if you have an idea to work on awesome something for your niche, do it. One more great example from Paul Hudson, Swift Community Award. You submit your app or your favorite tool, you vote for it, and by this you engage with all community and all the tools at the same time. It's really engaging viral activity, really brilliant. Trendy topic. Last year we did a summary of WWDC talks, and it gave a huge traffic to our site. So viral activities can give you a huge explosion and traffic, which you ideally convert into users or downloads or some feedback. But you never know if your viral idea will work out or not. We had a lot of examples when our viral ideas didn't work out. So you can work with more simple activity like PR or working with press. You can pitch your app idea to a big media, to niche press, to Twitter news accounts, or even to accounts of conferences. Working with media is very common. It looks like a direct sales. So firstly, you do your research. So you need to find out which media writes about your topic and which journalist from this media will cover something what you would love to. Then you build relationship. You follow them on Twitter, comment their articles, try to talk to them at the conference, and then you send a message with some news or press release or interesting story, something engaging. On slide is the example of our article on Smashing Magazine. It's a big design media. Our conversation with Smashing Magazine started very organically. We just comment each other on Twitter and shared a lot of their articles. And when they proposed us to write about our tool, it was a win-win case. Media needs news and good content for their readers. On example, you see Sean Allen weekly updates about Swift news. And obviously, if you propose some great article or great tool to showcase on his YouTube channel, it's a win-win again. So you just find the right media who needs good content, and you pitch them in the most kind and appropriate way. Working with press is free, so there is nothing which stops you to try it out as well. You can work with giveaways and free lead generation tools. Maybe you have some framework which you did, and you can give it for free. Maybe you have some designs which you can give for free, or something you can open source. When my co-founder was working on Flawless app, he did a script to reducing sketch file sizes. It was very useful. We did a product from that and just give it away to people. More than 8,000 people downloaded Reduce app. And all of those people saw our main offering. So lead generation tools, it's a good tactic to get users for your main product. We are something useful for community. One more great example. My friend, Meng2, who is maker of Design Code site, often give away free wallpapers for MacBook or for iPhone. They're very colorful, high resolution, and beautiful. And you can get them for free from his website. So obviously, it's a win-win tactic as well. Use it if you have something to give for the community for free. I guess you know, guys, on the slides, they're really awesome. And in any community, there are people who contribute a lot. And they get community love. Working with influencers is all about building a relationship. You can kindly propose your tool or your app for them to try and ask for review. Or you can work on a sponsorship basis. In any case, it's about giving first and thinking what valuable information or product you can give for influencer, because he or she can share it with his community. Another way to getting more users is distribution. If you have a Mac app, you can add it to different Mac listings, and you can apply for setup. I love setup. It's a distribution place where you add your app, and you can get recurring revenue every month, while setup will take care about marketing your app. So it doesn't cost you anything, and you get revenue right away. It's a free distribution channel. Really makes sense to try. We have Flawless as well, and it's very useful for us. If your app is live and you charge for it, you can work with sales activation. Or you can put discounts for Black Fridays, for your birthdays, for some holidays, or for some users' action. While doing discounts is toxic in general, it's a good way to get a huge boost of sales pretty fast. So if you have product which is paid, you can try it, especially for Black Friday deals. While there are so many things you can do for free as well, I want to cover a bit paid marketing. But before you go to paid activities, I really, really advise you to do some free marketing, because you will be able to test your message to see which message works best, to see which channel works best for you. Maybe you get so much traffic from Twitter, so you need to do paid ads there. Or maybe a sales activation is the best way for you to get fast sales, so you need to go with some distribution channel, which will put your app for a big sale and give you huge traffic. With all of those learnings, you can work on paid marketing. I will do a super brief overview of different tactics and channels you can use. You can work with ads in social media. It can be Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, or maybe some local social network like VK or Odnoklassniki, which is pretty popular in Russia. Working with social ads is typically about setting up ad manager account. In ad manager, you choose the type of the ad you would love to run. You put headline, text, you choose audience, which you will promote, and you put schedule and the budget. Some ad managers are pretty simple, like Reddit one, while some has dozens of features, like Facebook, which it's really very comprehensive. But in general, I'm sure you will be able to set up ads in social accounts and get the first result from it. You can advertise to people who search for specific keywords, which is Google AdWords about. You can display your banners on different sites. It can be done through different networks where you buy banners, or you can reach directly to blogs itself and propose to post a banner on their site. You can work with retargeting. It's when your app is following your user forever and ever, everywhere. And you can hire someone to help you with search engine optimization or App Store optimization. You can work with sponsorships. It's about sponsoring conferences, events, influencers, some blogs, or even getting paid articles in some places, sponsoring podcasts, books. So the world of paid marketing is super huge. You need to test it to see your analytics, your results, to identify your customer acquisition costs, and to iterate. But in general, your work with any type of marketing will be this way. You do user research first. You write down positioning, your core message. You choose channels which you will use. Can be public launches, can be sales, can be free marketing, can be paid marketing. You make a plan, what you will do, and you set up analytics to track your results. After this, you just execute and spread word about your great app. Marketing will give your attention, users, and some downloads. But it's really very important to define the big problem, important problem for a huge market. So people will be ready to pay for your app, to recommend it to friends. It calls product market fit search. And it's a long journey of user research, product development, lean product development, and many iterations. I wish you a big luck and mental power on this way. Build great products, make a memorable marketing, and dare to be flawless. Thank you. Do I have some time for questions? If someone of you have questions, I'm happy to answer. Also, I'm here for the next 2 days, so just come to me.
Thank you, great talk. I wanted to ask you, as a paid marketing strategy, would you consider using App Store advertisement provided by Apple?
Yeah, I would consider, but again, I would start with free marketing. Because you can put paid advertisement, but are you sure you know your audience? Are you sure what message to use for them? But again, it's great tactics. As a beginner, as just a fellow maker, it will be a bit hard to get it right. So you'll pay with your budget for your tests and for your learnings. So if you can get your learnings for free, it will be great. Or if you can spy a little bit on what competitors are doing to see what works best for them and just borrow those tactics, it will be another great way. Otherwise, you will invest your money, because any paid channel, like any paid marketing, it's by design should take more money from you for you to learn, and your idea is to spend as less as possible to get as much result as possible. But give it a try.
Thank you.
No? Yes? Okay. I'm curious, like, if you tried something that didn't work, and how was that experience?
Yeah, so since 2015, we tried a lot of different stuffs, and they didn't work. Especially it was about viral activities. We tried to do some funny memes before WWDC, and it didn't work out because everyone were watching WWDC. Also, we tried to do a lot of open source projects, which didn't work out as well. For example, I did Marketing for Engineers, a huge collection of awesome articles. People loved it, but no one contributed. Like, no one. It has like 5 key stars, but people didn't send requests. I was super upset. But just developers, they don't know a lot of articles about marketing. So it didn't work out as well. Also, we tried traditional direct sales when you come to office, when there is a huge table of people sitting around, and you present your app, and at the middle of the meeting, your app gets broken, your live demo doesn't work. It was a bit tricky, so when your product is on MVP stage, it's better not to do like traditional direct sales when you have all people involved. And when, for example, a CTO asked us, okay, and how about tests? How about stability? How about this and this and this? Do you have some privacy options? And how do you deal with our data? We were not prepared for that. So when you just at the beginning of your journey, probably go to big companies and try to do sales, it's really hard because you spend people's time and you're not ready, you don't have a product good enough for them to buy. Also, we did a lot with pricing. We start with one price and we go to another price, and it's really hard to define how much to charge. So we did a lot of attempts, but we're still in the price discovery stage for our product. And we tried Reddit ads a lot. They gave us traffic, but then Reddit stopped working in Ukraine, so we could not able to run Reddit ads at all. So it's really always you try and try. And another interesting thing is a rule of shitty clickbites. Basically, it means that any type of marketing, paid or free, will go down eventually. And the channel which works for you great today might not work for you in a month because another company spotted it, another company is buying your ads and put a higher bet for that, so you're not showing as the first one as right now. So you always need to keep iterating. Yeah. More questions?
Hey.
Yep, listening to you.
All right, suppose I'm writing my app right now. Like, I'm in development right now. What are things that I can do while I'm still in dark mode, where people don't really know about me or things that I'm creating? Like, are there things that I can do right now?
Yeah, sure. The easiest tactics is when you do a landing page describing all great, super promises your app will do. You put some screenshots, you fake it until you make it, and you promote your landing page. You can submit it to sites like beta list or similar, where you get people who subscribe to early access. On Product Hunt, there is the ability to add your product when it's not live yet. It calls ship. So you add a landing, it's distributed behind all people at Product Hunt, they have an amazing traffic, and people subscribe. So you get emails from people early on, and you can set up a strategy for yourself, like write a blog post and a huge article, how are you developing, what challenges are you facing, make a video of that, and share it with people in public. And when you have people who committed to use your product, ideally you set up interviews with them, you ask, hey, can you just look what I have right now? For example, when we were working on flawless feedback, I did a simple tweet, we are working on tool for designers, who is ready to jump on a call with me. And we had more than 50 calls with people, had a lot of meetings, and we showcased just a clickable prototype in Sketch. And we did user research and asked all of those people, okay, maybe you have friends who would love to give it a try as well. So referral marketing is working for you as well. But it's more about not marketing, but about user research. Because how can you be sure that what you're building is what market needs? Like, we wasted 13 months developing product, and when we released it, you know the end of the story.
Thank you very much.
I wish you luck. Send me your app when it will be live. I will share it on my Twitter. More questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lisa.